Welcome back to the SuperCoach Hub BBL podcast. You know who I am. I am only joined today by Largs. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Scobes. How are you, mate?
Very good, very good. And as all our audience can probably tell, Joshy is not here today, which is unfortunate. He's probably working out his trade plans, but I think everyone's in the same boat. There's quite a bit of value out there. There's some superstars ready to bring in, and we're just going to get straight into it. Largs, firstly, what's your rank, mate? Just
What is my rank? I'm in the low 600s, I believe. I scored 1157, something like that last round. So bit of a jump back for me after round one when I was in 3000th or something. So yeah, jumped up into the low 600s. So pretty happy with that. And interestingly enough, I think only like just over 100 points outside top 100. So it's really, really compacted up the top there. So depending where our listeners or our viewers are, I think if you can have a good round this round, you can really make ranks because it's very tightly packed.
Absolutely, mate. I scored just under 1-1 and went up 3,000 spots into 2.5k. So I'm trying to do exactly as you said, jump up those ranks. Now
Nice.
I don't know where Josh is situated in the ranks. I've got no idea, but I do know that he copped it extremely unfortunately, and it was so rough because he was wanting to obviously loop a double game week player as his captain, and then his loop was named to play, which was short. Did that happen to you at all? Did that alter any of your trade plans?
Yeah, it did. I had to move it around a bit. Yeah, sort of move him out of there. So that's a bit of a tough on that one, but just had to suck it up. And I think I had to waste a trade. Yeah, I did. I had to waste a trade to get that happening, but to lock in my Harper keeper, and I ended up looping short. So had to get that in. Tough round though. I think Joshy had Lance Morris as well, which was a laid out. I copped Jai like I think most others did. Just one of those seasons, man, where you just got to roll with the punches because it's just coming thick and fast, and it's happening to all of us. If you're lucky enough to avoid it, then I'm sure you've got a very good rank, and thank you, lucky stars. But yeah, it's one of those years, one of those seasons where it just seems to be happening a lot.
It was very weird. Like there was no talk about him playing. There was no, I guess, lead up to it. It was just named and he was in. So
yeah,
it was rough for them. I know Joshy sent some very abusive messages, and they were extremely colourful, which always make me giggle. But in saying that, it was stiff for him. He did, I think in the end, he did captain Edwards. So not the worst result, but still, I don't think that's how he saw his round playing out. So that was a bit stiff, but we'll move on from that. Largs, who are we trading in?
Oh, we're straight in the trades, mate.
Absolutely.
Okay. Just before we get to that, I just wanted to wish all our listeners and viewers a Merry Christmas and a happy Boxing Day. I know we're probably going to get to it, and I guess I'm a bit excited, mate. So I'm jumping off the script a bit, but we were talking earlier, and that has to be my favourite Boxing Day morning session of all time. Sammy Constance, what an absolute champion! Messing with the Indians with bat, getting in their heads, stirring them up. Let's hope Coley gets a massive fine or suspension. But yeah, brother, that just got me excited. That was so good.
No, it was fantastic. It was, I think, like 2 overs in, and he was trying to ramp.
Ramp Bomber.
Jesus, that was good on him. Like balls to the wall.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, yep.
I'm fairly sure we all saw how Coley's veered off his line just to give him a nice little hip and shoulder. And obviously...
By a long way.
Yeah, like obviously in some codes of sports, that's absolutely fine, nothing in it. But everyone likes to jump on Coley's back. He's a superstar. but
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think you can be doing that. Like,
Nah,
it's
mate.
like you can't do that in any form of cricket. And I reckon nothing will come of it, but just
Yeah.
goes to show, like, this 19-year-old on debut completely rattled a lot of them.
How good. Didn't he? What?
It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
But
Get back on track.
Absolutely. Who are we targeting to trade in? Because there's a few of mine, as we've spoke about, that were absolutely locked. But
Yep.
yeah, there's a few that are up in the air. And you're a lot more prepared than I am. I know you are.
Yeah, I guess the word you use, rattled. It's I think this round's rattling quite a lot of people. There's been a lot of chat. A lot of people message me and different things, just sort of trying to work it out. I think you've really, as it is every round, it's team dependent and who you got and who you want moving forward. But you've got your big guns. I think your sixes. Abbott's out, so he's still with the test team, so he won't play. So you've got your Jack Edwards and your Dwarshuis, who's killing it there. Then you've got Philippi, your keeper, who people are looking at. Potentially Curtis Patterson. Does he come in? If he does that move Edwards down the list? And then you got I believe the number one T20 bowler in the world, in Hussain. That's there as well on a likely spin friendly SCG pitch, I believe. So you've got heaps there. Then you've got you go to your stars. You got one of the best in our game and SuperCoach for the last few years, Maxwell, coming back.
Yep.
Then you've got the Heat with, I believe, McSweeney's the number one traded in that moment. You've got Xavier Bartlett, who's killing it with the ball, but is expensive. Paul Walter, does he pick up a bit? He's been down a little bit on I guess what we expected, but he's dropped his cash by about 30k, so he presents good value. And then you've got another one coming back from injury who Cricket Australia could have a say over in Spencer Johnson. So it really is a tough round. And in saying all that, I feel it's going to be the most important round of the year. If you can get this one right, it's got the most doubles in it out of any round through the year. If you get this one right, I think you're going to do well. But getting on to I'll stop rambling like I normally do, but getting on to my trades, I have actually deep dive and I have gone many different ways, backwards and forwards, and looking at different things and just sort of checking. But the moment I've decided I did like Dwarshuis. I think he's proven himself. Abbott out. I think he's got that bowling role. I started with Edwards to begin the season. I should just mention, so I don't have to bring him in. If I didn't, he'd be right up there as a target. So I've brought in Dwarshuis. I think he's got that role with the ball. Is being sent in as a pinch hitter up the order, batting and doing really well as well. So you can almost call him an all-rounder, I guess. So there's that role. So he comes straight in. I mentioned earlier Paul Walter has dropped 30k. I think he's fantastic value for what he is. I think people are sleeping on him a little bit where they said he didn't. He hasn't been doing that well. I think he got 44 last start, but what I think people are forgetting is he scored 19 with the bat at a great strike rate, 1 run short of the bonus, the batting bonus. He would have been in the 70s, potentially 80s, after that, and I think everybody would have been scrambling to get him then. So I've brought those two in. The next two were really tough for me, and where I've sort of gone backwards and forwards. I looked a lot. I originally had Bartlett in. I looked a lot. I thought, do I go Spencer to save that money and give me enough money to get someone a bit better like Maxwell? What do I do there? I wasn't really sure, but each way I went, if Maxi come in on board, it was compromising me in different areas, and the team wasn't looking as good across the board as what I thought. So cut a long story short, the next two I brought in, I did bring in Maxwell. And I'm taking a flyer on Pete Siddle. So I think he's
why on City?
yeah, he's cheap, but he's got that role. Like he will. Milne's gone now. Curran's not performing. I'm not sure who is going to take those death overs or those good overs off Siddle, and I think he does. They've got a couple of days between games. I think he's a good chance with that role to play 2 games. If he doesn't, he's cheap. I'm looping him in, but in saying that, I don't really have anyone that I can sort of chuck in if my loops don't work out. But I'm outside of maybe Siddle and perhaps Harper. I'm pretty comfortable with all my other players. So I've got 12 there that I'm pretty comfortable with. So I'm going with that. So yeah, I've taken a bit of a fly with Siddle. Obviously, his price helps me get those others. And I'm just, I'm hoping if he can average 40 or 50, he gets a couple of games. I get anywhere from 60, 70, 80 to 100. I think that's a good score. I'm laughing. That's as good of a score as a really good single game player. I think he's got a negative break even as well. Yeah, I think it's really low. So yeah, he seems a sort of a less risk type guy. Yeah, so I've taken a fly with that. And one other extra thing with that, which I didn't mention, I guess, it actually allows me to keep Matt Short. So originally Short was out. He was my original nut. He's out. I was going to try and not use a boost and save that for next round to try and get Short and Sutherland in. But this way I can actually keep Short. My boosts will be gone. This will be my second boost. They'll be gone, but it'll be easy for me to get Sutherland in, and then I can do what I want. I've already got 6 on the double, keeping that, so I can potentially jump up to 9. So, yeah, mate. That's where I'm at.
I've got great summary there. I do have one more question. You said you're keeping Matt Short, and I completely understand that.
I knew you would.
We don't need to go into that. For those that aren't, what is your advice when obviously lockout lifts? You check your overall score, you check your rank. What's your advice to those people that suddenly don't have any boosts and need to bring in Matt Short or Jamie Overton and Will Sutherland? How do you navigate that? What is the best piece of advice you can give for someone that needs to, obviously, no boosts left, use 3 trades, but then you need to almost spend 450k on 2 players?
You're going to have to burn one. Actually, you're likely going to have to burn a decent player for either enough or a low one or someone whose role may not be that good. I've got Liam Short sitting there. I took a fly on the other week. Liam Scott. Yeah, what did I say? Short. Got Matty on the brain. Liam Scott. I'll get it right. Yeah, so I've got him there. Maybe he bowled the 20th over and did okay. He's one of my 6 that I'm counting. So whether it's 5 or whether it's 6 with him, maybe people need to burn someone on that. But it really, it's a lot of money, and they're really going to have to potentially get someone a high price person down to a lowie to get that. You may need 150, 160,000, and then if Short's 200 and something, you may need to upgrade someone else. So it potentially compromises some of your team and some of your players, which is another reason why I've decided to keep Short in there. He's got that higher break even than 145, but we know he's going to do something sooner or later. I'm not saying it's this round. He could well do a lower score again, and he drops more cash. But I'm prioritising the points over the cash gen at this stage, because that's what I set out to do at the beginning of the of the year is go hard these first 4 rounds. See how we
absolutely.
go. I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm going to fall at round 4. Hopefully after that, round 5 onwards, I'll be okay. I may not. I guess time will tell, but I'm still fairly comfortable where I'm with that. I don't have any problem with people selling short. If he's your only avenue to these bigger game players, then fair play to you. I've just been lucky enough to fall where I can find a team I'm happy with to keep him, and I think that helps me not just hopefully this round. Hopefully he does do all right this round, but then again next round as well. So that's where I'm at, and I think everything's team dependent again. If you've got to sell him, no issue there.
I love that obviously from you. Now I didn't discuss this with you pre-pod, but I obviously explained what I'm currently on. And right now it's locked in. There's only one player that's currently locked in that will be coming into my team, and that's Glenn Maxwell. The other 3, so obviously I'm boosting right now. Curtis Patterson, because I expect him to play. He'll be on double cheap. Don't need to explain that. Sammy Harper. And we'll get back to Sam Harper. And the other one is Paul Walter, which you perfectly explained that. Now, at the moment, I'm trading out Seifert, Ollie Pope, Mackenzie, Jai Richardson. We don't need to go into that. I personally don't think Pope is an option, even with the double next week. But one thing that I'm almost tempted to do is maybe go in with no player in the keeper spot. I'm almost tempted to do that. And that would be not bringing in Harper, having Seifert on the bye, and obviously the other one is Jake Doran. So having a donut there, but keeping in mind it's best 11 scores. So I need to go through that and see, is it worth having 12 scorers? Or can I get 11 better players than 12 players? So I haven't worked around with it. And honestly, I think we said this first pod, but when you're trying to muck around and do DPP and do your flex and update trades and stuff, do it on a desktop or laptop, because half the time when you select a player for your flex, it doesn't work. And it's so annoying, because all you want to do is literally, you've worked it all out and you go to add that player and then it doesn't work. It's just...
Well, you just taught me something, because I've been trying to do it on my phone as well, and I've noticed that it wouldn't recognize that flex and let you put it in, and I was thinking, oh man, I need to get creative and do the trade this one in and that one in and that one back to that one and update that one. So good tip then to get it on that PC.
Do it on your desktop. I honestly believe Curtis Patterson, if he'll be in the squad, we get to see the teams, he could slaughter the Stars. He's in fantastic form. The only reason I'd go there is if he's listed at 3. Obviously, there's been some conjecture with Jack Edwards batting there, and he's done fantastically there. You can't deny that.
Where else would Patterson go, do you think, if he's not at 3 and if he's in the...
Well, does he drop down to 6? But he's almost wasted it. It feels like to me, if they're going to pick him, he has to play at 3.
Yeah, he's more that opener up top player, isn't he?
Edwards has got, well, in my opinion, Edwards has got that ability to literally, he only needs 10 balls. He's coming in at 6. It might be the 18th over, basically. And ideally, I'd rather Edwards in that situation than Patterson, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. But do they move Silk down maybe and slot Patterson in down one? I don't know.
It's
so you're pretty confident on Patterson by the sounds of it. So you're happy to roll him and play him. My only thing back to the original is there's quite a few mentioning fading the keeper spot. It's not. I'm not totally against it. I've got lucky enough, I guess, with Harper this year. Had him as my emergency in round one, didn't really perform game one, so I bought in Seifert, which worked out well, but then I sold Seifert after that double just to use his cash. Harper went well the next round, which was good, and now he's got two chances to go again. So I'm happy just to run with that. Hope he gets something that's reasonable enough to stick there. Is it worth a trade in there? Probably not. It's probably one of those. It's not probably. It is that position, I think, which is the toughest to waste trades on. So I don't have a problem with people wanting to fade that, provided their other 11 are strong and they're confident in that. Like you said, you've got Patterson. I don't know your team off by memory, but have you got any others in there that you're a bit worried about? Have you got any other only bats or people whose roles are a little bit suspect or potential?
Right now, the only one that I am a little bit iffy on that a bat, well, it's basically role, I'll say, not bat only, but roles. It's Ashton Turner, and I'm looping him with Basley. So
okay,
that's like, I guess there's a little bit of coverage there, but as I said, I haven't completely looked into it, but I just feel like that sometimes having 11, I guess, absolute superstars is so much better than having, 10 guns and then 2 duds.
Yeah,
and obviously,
I don't know.
11 scores, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you can get, and that would be my thing, you'd want to be confident in your 11. Your 11 players, I guess, in my position, if I had, say, like I've got Siddle, which I'm looping him in through my Renegades, just because the Renegades are there. Plus, it makes an easy loop for my captain, for my VC if I need it. So happy to do that one there. But he could well miss a game and not be that great. Then I got another batter in Renshaw who has looked good, but he's a batter. He could fail twice, and if I was in that situation, then I'd be a little bit worried. Throw in maybe, say, a Spencer Johnson in there, who's potential risk, as we've talked about. Then I'd be starting to, and then even if you got, actually, no, you wouldn't have Harper because you're fading that position. But, if you've got another potential bat or someone in there, then you're starting to play a little bit with fire, and I sort of would be wanting to see if I could potentially watch the scores of the first game, if that was at all possible. It's possibly not, and it's not in your situation because that first game is the Sixers and the Stars. But that would be my only issue. I mean, but that's just this round. If it helps you next round and moving forward, if it saves a trade or if it lets you keep someone, or there's a lot of different factors in this game that we play that we like that you need to take into account. It's not just that one solitary, it's going to be good this round. I think you need to look further. But it's a valid strategy, and just, I guess, look into it. Do your study, and if you think it's less risky and it's all right, go for it. Even if it's maybe higher risk, but you think, right, I want to risk it because it helps me do this, and it's going to help me next round, it's going to help me there, then so be it. So I'm not against it. I'm just hoping Harper can do a job one more time for me. Well, actually, 2 more times would be good. 2 more times, and then I'll probably look to move him on and say, thanks very much, you've done your job. Off you go, and then try and look at upgrading that position. But in saying that, I think his BE is pretty low, so maybe he makes a little bit more cash to keep him around. But yeah,
you talked about risk, and you said you wanted to have a look at obviously the first game players.
Yep.
Do you have any conjecture with looping double game weeks?
I'm generally, it really depends. Normally, I don't really like it. I think this round's a little bit different though. It's the first round where we have buys. So you've got your gauge there. You potentially can have a free loop chance at them. So if you've got someone doesn't have that great big role, even if someone's not as confident in a Patterson like you, I know some people took a flyer on Joel Davies. You know, he might be a good guy to loop off that first game. Stick him on the bench, put the E on him, see how he goes. Is he going to get another run? I would think he's going to play being the SCG, being a spinners thing. But, you know, Hussein's your number one. They seem to like Murphy. I don't know why. They only bowl him on over, but they seem to like him as well. Maybe they don't go with Joel. Maybe they do. Then where's the second game? Second game's at the Gabba, which I don't think that's that much of a spin deck, or is it? You know those grounds pretty well, so you know.
Then, like, is there going to be a little bit of rain around? Like, what's it like? Because
that's the other issue.
There's spinners like, say, for instance, Matty Kuhneman, who I don't think he's ever turned a ball unless it's, you know, in a dust bowl in Asia. But that would be hard to grip. Like, you're trying to put revs on it, you're trying to get, you know, flight, drift. But does that just turn into, like, literally left arm up and down?
Could be, hey. That's it. But
spinners even bowl if there's a little bit of rain around, and say the ball literally, and you know what it's like. If there's a little bit of rain around, the ball hits the outfield, it's saturated.
Yeah. Don't know, but I guess that would be someone I would look to, and I don't have a problem with chucking on the bench as the emergency and using one of your Gades or using, you know, someone else that's not playing, because we all seem to have a NPR or two in there, and that's the other factor that's pretty hard this round. Just to sort of mention with that, I've seen teams with 6, 7, 8, 9 potential non-players this round, just you know, for, you know, bad luck where we've lost people. You know, we've lost Jai, we lost Abbott, Webster, although Webster should be gone by now out of your team. You know, if we lost people like that, then you're starting with your wicket keeper loops. We spoke about Joshy with the Sixers guys, stuff like that. You know, it's it's unlikely they play. Your Solzman, then you've lost Constance. You know, it adds up. So you sort of have to be careful with that. But in saying that, you know, you're likely going to have, you know, loops available there. So I normally aren't a big fan of looping people in the double, to get back to what you originally asked. But I think this round's different. Because we've got the buys. We're going to have plenty of these non-players, like I said. You someone like your Joel Davies or someone like that. I'm even someone like Curtis Patterson. I know you're high on him. I'd be okay with chucking him on the bench and looping him if you've got that easy loop. If he does well, bring him on. If he doesn't, then maybe that helps your trades from the next part of the round onwards. It's again, the beauty of BBL and SuperCoach is you can play it many different ways. You really need to be flexible, as Andrew keeps promoting, and he knows his stuff, and it's good advice. You need to stay fluid, and you need to stay flexible, and that probably, not probably, it does. That I guess that helps you. So gives you that free shot. So normally I'm against it, but this round I'm not.
My next question, and I've been told a couple of times that I'm a little bit quiet, so I do fucking apologise. I've got no idea what's going on with it. Jesus Christ. Does Spencer Johnson, does he bowl 8 overs? Yes or no? And I just want a one-word answer.
I know you want a one-word answer, but I'm not going to give you one. Sorry. I honestly think it's 25% yes, 75% no, or maybe it's 40-60. I don't know. Like, normally I would have an opinion, but mate, it's Cricket Australia. Who can follow them this year? I mean, I can't. I know people in the inner sanctums that know these players and know whatever, and they don't even know. So look, he's fantastic value. He's risk. So I'm leaning towards no. If you want an answer, I'm leaning towards no, but it's not a definite no. It's more that I think it's 60-40 no. And even that, I don't even know if that's right. But what about yourself? What do you think?
I'm not. I will answer it after my next question. How many overs does he need to bowl for you to be satisfied with the pick in a double game week? And I think Travis Head's just gone out.
Yep. Oh, for a duck.
Oh, fantastic.
Bumrah. He's got a bowl 6. Has to be at least 3 each.
Yep. What
each game. You're not going to know though, are you? Like if you get 4 early, or if you've got him anyway. Like no, it's quite possible. Like there was discussion on that in the fair bit of discussion in the hub today about this very thing. And people say no, he'll definitely bowl. And I mentioned to them all. Remember last year he come back. Started the round, and I think he went 2-2. And then he bowled his 4, I think, and Nisa went even worse. I think Nisa went 2-1, 2-4, something like that. So they both were bought in gradually. Like, I hope for those that go, Spencer, it's not that case, but it is that risk. I hate bringing up round 1 where I've made a total foobar, and I've started Khan over Solo, but that has taught me that lesson that I have to try and negate these risks if I can. Will it hurt me if I don't take someone and they do well? Yeah, it probably will. But if I can get someone that I'm comfortable that hasn't got that risk and does just as well, just under, or just better, I'm happy with that. Because what happens if Spencer comes out and does bowl 2? What happens if he breaks down? What happens if he bowls 4 and then he doesn't play game 2? What happens if he gets 40 or 50 points in game 1 and then nothing in game 2? And with our teams with so many non-players and buys, and we're not going to know until the last game of the round. Throw in the rain. The rain hang around. There's another risk there. Look, I don't have a problem with people taking that, but I wouldn't want to have too many risks in my team, other players, where I'm taking another one. If all of a sudden I have a couple of people that don't have the roles and don't perform well, and I've gone cheapies to afford these Maxwells and these Bartletts and these Dorcius and whoever else is dearer, and then I cop 1 or 2 bad ones, like, sorry, Joshy, if you're watching us, but he copped it last round. He copped a couple of these guys, and it was really hard to take because all this planning and all this stuff that's out of his control. No one knew. It's not his fault. Ruin the round for him and cost him a lot of ranks in a very, very tight and close thing. Like if that happens to Spencer, and you cop that at the end of the round. If your other 11 have done well, great. But if you faded the keeper or someone else has gone, well, you're probably in a bit of trouble. So that's me. Maybe I'm a little bit too cautious because of Khan and because of these things. But I really don't know any player that hasn't copped someone, that hasn't copped Jai Richardson or hasn't copped the Lance Morris or hasn't copped Webster or hasn't copped, the list goes on. I'm sure I've missed a couple. They're all out there. So that's my worry with Spencer. If he's your avenue to get these other better players in, because I think he's 121k or something, he's really good value, but I don't believe he comes without risk.
So now, I like asking you questions because it kind of gives me clarity in what I think I'll do, even though I don't think I've ever listened to you, regardless whether you've been spot on or completely wrong.
That's why my rank beats you every year, brother. But
Literally, yeah. Maybe I should start fucking listening to you. Is 80K worth the guarantee knowing that you're going to get 8 overs out of Bartlett over Spencer Johnson?
depends. There's no simple yes or no to it.
No. Yes, there is.
You can ask the questions, but I'll give you what I believe's.
Right.
I'll give you what my answer is. Yeah, and I do. I honestly don't think there's yes or no's in BBL, and it's team dependent. It's around all that stuff. Does that 80K compromise you somewhere else?
No.
Does it compromise you this round, or does it compromise you next round, or neither, or both? If it doesn't, I'd lock Xavier in every day of the week. Yep. If that 80K doesn't affect you, which is another risk, if that doesn't, then I'd be comfortable to say that, because I think 90% Xavier outscores Spencer. I mean, Spencer's developed into a very good bowler, and through the finals he was fantastic. I think Joshy put up some stats of what his points were. He put them up today, I believe, on X, what his stats were in the finals, and it was 121, 119, something like that, like games, and you throw in your Pakistan games. He's been really good, but then he's coming back from injury. There's that there. I don't know, and I say that in Xavier just keeps getting better and better and better. So he's very, very good bowler. I'm surprised he's not on that plane in the test squad as well, because I think he's right up there as well.
Sean Abbott. That's just
they're close. Abbott's pretty good. So I'd be very confident that he outscores Spencer. I mean, saying that, Spencer might pull out a spell and just skittle everyone. And who they got? They got that Perth top order, so they've looked a bit shaky. He might come out and just knock them over. Finn Allen for a fourth ball out this time, but But Xavier, if that 80K doesn't hurt you, and you're happy to go with it, it is a lot of money. But if it doesn't, then Xavier definitely over him for me.
So a nice little segue. I can only assume that you're going to VC a Stars player or a Sixers.
Yep.
That's fair to say.
Correct. Yep.
If the VC fails, we're going to do this in reverse. Who do you captain?
Yeah, it's tough. Let's just hope the VC doesn't fail. If I had Bartlett, it would be Bartlett.
Yep.
If that's who my option is, that would be the one I'm most comfortable in the heat, because the first two doublers play in that first game, Sixers and Stars. So we're done from doubles then. Do you sneaky go short and take a risk? But then that's a risk as well. I'd rather the safety net of the double game, but with the weather hanging around. I don't have Bartlett, so I'd probably be looking at Paul Walter as my captain then, but I believe there's rain hanging around for that Brisbane game. I think it was looking thunderstorms the other day. I thought the weather report looked a little bit better yesterday. I haven't actually looked at it today, but it is that time of year. It is that season. We saw the last Test match, Australia India, at the Gabba in Brisbane, and there was a lot of rain about. This time of year in the beautiful Sunshine State that we have, there is rain about, and there are thunderstorms, and if one of them come about, we're in trouble. I mean, that's the funny part about this. We've had so much chaos this year, and we haven't had any rain affected matches. So if you throw that into it as well, far out.
Possible shower, the chance of a thunderstorms. Most likely medium chance of showers, most likely in the afternoon and evening. It's just like it's not very specific.
Yeah, 6 o'clock or 6:15 Queensland time game,
Yeah,
which is probably prime time for thunderstorms in southeast Queensland. So,
yeah. So
I've got players in that game, so I hope it doesn't happen as well. And if I'm having a C, a captain because my VC hasn't gone as well as I've wanted, I'm probably shitting bricks as well if I'm only going to get one potential game. So it's risky, but fingers crossed. What about you? If your VC doesn't go, what are you looking at for the later games?
It will honestly depend on who I trade in. Like if I do trade in Tall Paul, it'll probably be him, honestly. But I'd need from my VC, I'd need sub 40, I think, to not take it. Like it's just you've got to factor that in as well.
Yeah,
but
I'd be happy if it's 40 or more.
Yeah, 4 VC options. I think if Stars bat first, 100% on Maxwell. If Sixers at first and Jack Edwards is at 3, it'll be him.
Yep. Well, I think the Stars will bat first. Shout out to the Insight boys. I think Horse mentioned it on one of their podcasts that the Stars like batting first and the Sixers like chasing. And I believe that's happened whenever each team's won the toss. That's what they've chosen. So probably good segue into that. It looks likely that we can call it, and touch wood, it doesn't happen differently now, but it looks likely that Stars will bat first and Sixers will bowl. So
no, perfect. So who's your who will your VC be?
If I'm paying up for him, it's Maxi.
Yep.
Maxwell.
So you are going to go Maxwell?
Yep.
Perfect. We're going to get to some questions now. This, I don't know how, unless it's just been a mix-up with the time, but Arson Dragon at 11:59 a.m. has put in the chat, g'day, lads. Nothing like lockout day on the piss. I assume he's having a great day. Honestly, just enjoy it, mate, and I hope Consta's viewing was fantastic. He's also said 100% what I'm doing regarding keeper. Well, Lugs, it's obviously not affecting you because you've already got Harper. But I would say the next question, Sir, thank you so much for coming in here. G'day, lads. Is a rank of 821 at this point decent? I would say absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yep. Doing
just
good.
Keep going, mate. Keep going. Corey, thank you so much for joining in. Love my round, 1173 up to 488 from 3,000. Very nice job, mate. Very nice job. And looking at getting Mackenzie, Connolly, Dorf, Jai out to Siddle, Renshaw, Bartlett, and Dorsch. Is there any concern with those trades? And I'm fairly sure. Mitch Marsh's Test career has to be over.
Just out.
It's shocking. Yep, shocking.
Yeah, there is concern with this, mate. I've got concern with Corey asking questions from us to start with. I played Cozza in a cash league the round just gone, and was leading the entire round. It got to that last over, that last wicket with the second last or third last ball. He's had Dorf as Behrendorf as captain, and he's had Turner, and he didn't have Fergus, who I had. So that wicket for his captain and Turner catching him, he's beaten me he's jumped me with a ball or two to go. So and then he's rubbed it in on our chat quite a bit and praised himself. So good luck with your trades, Corey. Maybe you can answer it for him, mate.
Honestly, Mackenzie's dead at this stage. Connolly, Dorf, and Jai, I do not mind the trade outs. I would probably do that. I would do that. If you're not a fan of Renshaw, though, I'm huge on Curtis Patterson if he's batting at 3, which I think he will do. I just don't understand why he'd be at 6 or anything like that. But yeah, I'd tick that off, Corey. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Juicy Gerbil. I might twist this a little bit for you, Largs.
Oh, righto.
We'll get to his question soon. What is the best sporting day in the year? And I know, obviously, you're into that make-believe code that no one really gives a fuck about. But in your opinion, what's the best sporting day?
Oh, geez. What, outside of Boxing Day or?
No, Boxing Day's included. Like, what is, if you could have one day of sport and that's the only one you can have, what is it?
It's pretty tough. Boxing Day is a great day, but State of Origin Game 3 decider at Suncorp or at Lang Park, as it used to be known. That's my, obviously, Queensland winning, which didn't actually happen this year, but that's all right. We've won quite a lot. We've won like 85% in the last 15 years, so you can't get them all. But yeah, that would probably be mine.
Yep. Okay. Well,
obviously, NRL Grand Final Day is great if your team's in it, but it's so hard to win we don't call them flags, so hard to win a premiership that, you couldn't say every year is the best one because your team's not in it every year, or from my perspective. So I'd say Origin because your team's in it. Your team's in it every year. What about you, mate? What do you got?
Well, I don't speak Spanish, so I've got no idea what you just said for the past minute and a half.
Mexican speak Spanish.
You know what I mean. Made up sport, it's not real. It's definitely like, I guess if it's not Grand Final Day when your team's in it, it's Boxing Day, and nothing else compares to that. We've already covered Bartlett or Johnson if you could only grab one heat bowler. Joshy is off with his best friend. Yeah, I would assume so. Absolutely. Dennis wants to know, any news on Weatherald? Is he likely to play tomorrow? I don't think has the squad been released?
No, it hasn't. Yeah, I did have a couple of questions in the hub about that, and I did actually say chuck it up on here, and we'll let you know. And I have looked into it, and it's just crickets. There's nothing there at all. Squad hasn't been released, I don't believe. If anyone online knows differently than us, please let us know, or you might be able to quickly look it up. You're the honeyball man. You got the inside know. Have you heard anything from your boys there, or?
Which is, I highly doubt if he's got back spasms that they've just magically cleared up.
They're pretty tricky, those things. They're very tricky, aren't they? That they can be very hard to sort of get over, and you can say I'm okay, and then you tweak it a little bit, and you're gone again. So I'm not sure. I did look, and I couldn't find anything. Sorry.
Dennis wants to know, will Abbott play game 2? I don't think so. But in saying
no,
why?
That'll be day 4 of the test. So
probably not. I highly doubt he gets released for that.
You'd think not. Although we might have won it by then, we might win it in 3. Although we're 5 for 248 now. So
pure collapsing.
Yeah.
Gerbil wants to know, how does Seifert, Matt Short, O'Neill, Richo to Philippi, Maxwell Bartlett, and Hussain sound? Leaves me with 27k and 1 boost. Honestly, in that situation, I'd probably roll with it. Yeah.
Sounds pretty damn good to be honest. Just only thing is you're getting 3 double gamers out that you're going to need back next round. Do you use your boost to get them all back? Are they the only 3 that you get back? Because you're going to probably want all of them, unless Seifert maybe not. Matty Short definitely. Fergus has been killing it since that first game. He didn't do that well. Last 2 he's done well, and he's got a great break even, so he's going to make cash as well. That would be my only thing, is do you have a plan for next round to get them back? Do you want them back? If you don't, fine, but maybe you're limiting yourself with that's 3 you need back, and you're gonna need to boost, and you're only getting one other back. I mean, we can't see your team. It might be stacked with others. It might be okay, but that's my only thing. Just have a plan for next round that doesn't leave you short. And if you think you're okay, and it's good to go, then yeah, those trade-ins look good.
Absolutely agree. And I think this is what we kind of said before. Like, Kai sent in, I think we need another week or two of cash generation to be able to fade the keeper. I feel like I have 2 to 3 if the guy's still there. I agree with that, but also I don't even know what Harper's break even is, to be honest with you.
It's 25.
25.
But it's going into a double. That's for the double.
Yeah, so
it's pretty good for a double.
He's got the capability to eclipse that, or he might not even get fucking close. Like, you don't know.
I
think Largs, Dennis has sent in, if you're fading the keeper position and counting on the other best 11, you can't really take a punt on any other players in your 11. I think that's exactly what you were referring to, mate.
Yep.
But in saying that, I would, to counter that, you can take punts whilst looping. So, yeah, that's
Yep.
a little bit, yeah. We've also got hey lads, anyone had a look at the last game of the round weather? Yeah, we did. It's well, Largs, you're from there, mate. Well, closer than what I am. But
you do realise I'm 1,500 kilometres from Brisbane.
That's 1,500 kilometres closer than me, mate.
Righto.
And I just, like, thunderstorms are a complete no-go. Like, that is shit scary cricket, like, just in general.
Brisbane's renowned, from southeast Queensland's very much renowned for late afternoon. And again, there might be Brisbane viewers and listeners out here. Please jump in or correct me if I'm wrong, because I am 1,500 k's away from there. But to my understanding, being a Queenslander, is that they are synonymous with southeast Queensland and late afternoons, early evenings into the nights, and they're absolute crackers, man. They're once they come down, they come down there. They can be pretty scary with the thunder and the lightning and stuff like that. And if one of them moves in, there will not be a match on at all. It'll be off. You know what it's like being a cricketer and that, mate. Like, if it comes down and it starts, it takes forever for them to dry it out. You need that half-hour break or whatever the hell it is that they do. Then they make a call. If a thunderstorm comes down, I reckon it's less than 5% chance of a game being played. So if one of them does come over, is stuffed. We won't get a game in.
Yeah, no, anything to do with thunderstorms is just an absolute shit show. Complete shit show. Dennis wants us to rank 1 to 3 the best VC options out of what he's put in. I would say Edwards.
Curran's number 3, I'll say.
Yeah, Edwards, Dwarsh's Curran on pure form right now. Largs, what about yourself?
Dennis, it really depends on the team list, mate. If KP Patterson comes in and Edwards is down to 6, and the Sixers are bowling first, I'd put Dwarsis at 1. Curran's definitely 3, just bowling absolutely useless. I have him, and I hope that changes, but there's no way I'd VC him. It'd be Dwarsis. If Edwards is still up at 3, I'd probably lean him. But don't really think you can go too wrong with Edwards or Dwarshus, but I definitely wouldn't recommend Curran. Good luck to you if you do, and I hope it works out well, but he just hasn't looked good bowling. He's been saved by a couple of batting appearances, and was he coming at 7? I wouldn't want to be relying on that.
Yeah, no, fantastic answer. Baze Lenka says Maxwell McSweeney, Renshaw Philippi, or Maxwell McSweeney Edwards, which is better? Well, you've left out a player.
Yeah, we don't know who your keeper is in that second one.
I would say I would say if he's ditching Renshaw and going up to Edwards, Philly's got to come down to Harper, doesn't he?
Well, what's Renshaw? 80 odd and McSweeney's 120, is he? Something like that. There's 40k there. Can you go Maxwell, Renshaw, Edwards, and someone else? I'm guessing you can't. Depends on your keeper. I'd rank Edwards above McSweeney, Renshaw, and Philippi easily. Maxwell and Edwards are the two best out of that. I don't know if that helps you or not. If you're still on line, maybe clarify your keeper or your money position. But I don't know how you feel, Scobes, but Maxwell and Edwards clearly the better ones in there. And I own Renshaw. I've had him from the start. I'd definitely put those two above him.
I can literally have nothing else to add. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'd put Renshaw above McSweeney as well, to be honest.
What, purely price point?
Just his rate of scoring. McSweeney, good player. Will build in innings, but you're not getting your strike rate until later on, I don't think. Like, he only got going late with that, whereas I think Renshaw, you are much more likely to get to your 20 with your strike rate bonus than McSweeney. In saying that, you're potentially a lot more likely to get out with Renshaw than you are McSweeney. But I honestly think he would have scored a ton, Renshaw, in that last game if he hadn't got too cute and started playing these stupid little dinkies or trying to ramps or different stuff. Like, the way he got out was just ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, I was very happy. I had to actually play him. Because my loops didn't work, so I had to play him as a standout. So I was very happy with his 80 odd or whatever he scored. But I honestly think he would have tonned up or gone close to ton up if he hadn't done that. But that's just, maybe it's biased, but that's my opinion.
All right, well, let's move on, because if you talk about Renshaw for any fucking period of time longer, I'm going to spew up. Gerbil wants to know, who would you drop from the Aussie Test side right now, and who would you replace him with? There's two. It's got to be, well, if it wasn't, if he didn't score a 50 today, it was 100% Aussie, but then again, might have been helped by the nature of how Constant scores so rapidly, but Mitch Marsh has got to go. Like, we all know that he's holding a spot for Cam Green, but if Cam Green's not right to go New Year's Test, then surely Bo Webster has to play for Marsh.
Give Webster a go, man. I agree. Marshy's not bowling or bowling limited, batting down the order, not performing. He's obviously carrying an injury or something. Just, man, stop grabbing these players and keeping them in the squad and not releasing them and telling them what they're not allowed to do and then just not playing them. Give him a go. Give Webster a go. They've finally got some balls and given Constas a go. Unfortunately at throwing poor old McSweety under a bus, who I didn't mind the pick, but they've thrown him in at that opener when that wasn't his role, and then wondered why he didn't do well, and then threw him under the bus. But yeah, drop Marsh. Give Webster a go. I don't have a problem with dropping Uzi or Marnus either.
Yep, perfect. Hussain or Dwarsh? I'm going Dwarsh. You, mate? Yeah,
I like Dwarsh. I think he's just at the value. I think he's better. Hossain's class bowler, though, could do well, but he's just going to bowl. Dwarsh is borderline all-rounder now. Dwarsh, even though he's cheaper.
Perfect. Thomas Jack wants to know, is Owen in any of your trade plans, lads? No, he's not.
No. Would be nice for the cash, Jen, if you need it. He's not super cheap. He's 91k or something like around those lines. So you're not really getting too much of a downgrade with him. It's a pure cash, Jen. If you want that, if you need that, fine. I think it's the most important round. I'm chasing points, so no, not for me.
Yeah, and no, simple, no. Matty Granger wants to know, what's up, boys? Literally just trying to work out trade plans, honestly. That's
Boxing Day, Granger.
Yep.
Was it? Best day of the year, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Supercoach Genius wants to know, He was crazy and he faded Stoinis round 1. Who is a better choice out of Stoin and Sweeney? It's definitely Stoin. Unless it's Sydney Sweeney, then I'm on her all day, every day. You lugs.
Can't beat that. I can't beat that, mate.
You still got Joe Clark. The other players, Joe Clark down to Doran. Where was the question? Here it is. Maxwell, McSweeney, Renshaw, Philippi, or Maxwell, McSweeney, Edwards, Doran, wicketkeeper bench? I'm going the second.
So he has to fade the keeper, does he?
Looks like it, yes.
So he's getting... All right, let me just quickly look.
I'd go the first.
He's getting Renshaw and Philippi over Edwards and Doran. No, you're getting 4 players against 2 players. I'd go the first, even though I love Edwards. Pending whereabouts this week.
Dennis has just said that striker squad just released. Weatherald is in the 14-man squad.
Okay. He must be a chance then.
Yep. Where were we? Here we go. Yes, that's a perfect example of how you loop. Seifert would be on field, Harper on the bench with the E on him, so emergency, the little purple thing. VC Maxi. Yep.
Is that Glenn McGrath's brother?
Yeah, I think so, actually.
That's the way to do it, Rod.
Luppy wants to know, I was originally going to get Harper or Philippi to cover Seifert on the bye, but this no-keeper strat is intriguing to me. This would make my trade short. Weatherall, Constant Samper to Walter, Dwarshus, Owen, McSweeney. Walter, Dwarshus.
Dwarshus are good. Owen's a cash grab, and actually both are cash grabs, although McSweeney is still on the double.
Change Owen to Renshaw / Curtis Patterson, and you're laughing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, no, don't worry about Owen. Like, yes.
Again, Luppy, just check your team though. Are those 11 that you're playing? Are they good, or are there risks in there? As we spoke at length earlier, that's the only thing with fading your keeper. You need to make sure that you're not leaving yourself short, or you're leaving yourself at risk in a couple of positions, because it could all turn to shit.
Absolutely. Rod, in answer to your question, is Glenn's cousin, apparently.
Awesome. Good stuff. Hope he's doing well, Rod.
Baz also says, trading out Ferg O'Neill, Sutherland, Oh, no, you're not trading out Sutherland. That's, no. Don't like that at all. Richardson.
It's 190K though, bro. It's a lot of money for them.
You're burning a trade. You're burning a trade next, because you're going to want him. Unless you're adamant that you don't.
What else is it? So what's the thing? Trading out Ferg, O'Neill, Sutherland, and either Joe Clark or Hobson.
The way you have worded this is absolutely fucking atrocious.
That's your teacher voice.
Cash for Edwards over Philippi.
I'll let you answer that, because I can't understand it.
No, do not trade out Sutherland. No,
I'd be worried about trading Fergus as well, but
yeah, no.
Every team's different. He might have a heap that aren't playing. So,
all right, Thomas Jack. My reason for Owen is so I can get Maxi. It's either Maxi and Owen or Dorsham. Why? If you don't have Renshaw, you get Renshaw. And if you do have Renshaw, literally wait 27 minutes until the team is released. And if Curtis Patterson is at 3, you're picking him over Owen. Simple as that.
He's cheaper, mate. He's cheaper than Owen, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Like
almost 30,000, so you can do it.
Yeah, like just easy.
Just play around with it, Thomas. But it's good advice.
But if you're going to Walsh and Walter and you're going into a double with no Glenn Maxwell, like, oh my god, that's unlucky.
Hopefully it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. That's all our questions. Largs, where can the listeners find you, mate?
Mate, Slug Piers on X. You can find me. My BBL team name's Slogged Maiden. That's the name I go by in the SC Hub. I'm always loitering around there, so happy to have a chat.
And you can find me on X at Scobey_SC Hub. Again, please check out literally everything to do with the SC Hub. Like on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. You'll know when we go live on X. You know where to find us all. Jump into the Discord. It's so much easier if you just literally jump in there, post your questions, and I swear I will do a much better job at responding because I'm absolutely shithouse at it. But Largs, and there's so many more quality people that are in there that are far, far better than I at this game and will give you much better advice. But just make sure that you get all of our socials, jump into the Discord, converse with us. We're always there. Have a good chat. Hopefully everyone's SuperCoach teams goes well. And I'm sure we will see all 147 of you back here next week at whatever time we decide.
Good luck with your rounds this round 3, lads. I hope you make the right call and have a good Boxing Day.
Absolutely. And we will have Joshy back next week. So if anyone wants to sling shit at him for not being here, make sure you write it down now just so you've got it for next week, okay? And enjoy your evening. And we'll be back sometime next week.
Cheers, everyone.